Okay, y'all, we're back here again doing perspective drawing. We have a pencil, a ruler, and an eraser as always, because we'll need these. We're still doing 2-point perspective, but today we're going to focus on doing some more advanced things like windows and doors. Starting with a horizon line and 2 vanishing points. I want you to make a basic box down below the horizon line. Remember, you're connecting from the tops and bottoms of that line to both vanishing points. Sometimes it's easier to move the paper as opposed to the ruler. I'm going to put my 2 sides on. These are vertical lines. They are parallel to the line at the corner. And then I will go opposite to create the top of the box. Now that I have that, time to erase all the extra stuff so that it's not in our way. Okay. Making just boxes is fun, which you did in your previous assignment, but now we're going to start getting a little technical. How can we make other things in these boxes? Let's start with the simplest, a door. If I look at the left side of my box here, and I create a couple vertical lines in the space, one there and one further down, it kind of gives me the sides of my door. Now what you want to do from the front line, the line that's closer into the center, we're going to line up the top of that with the vanishing point and extend back. And that creates the top of our door. Now you'll notice right here, this little piece didn't connect. That's okay. Go in and connect that piece and erase the little bit that was hanging over. The one thing you don't want to do is just create 2 vertical lines in the space and connect the top, because then that's not going to be an accurate perspective. Erase that real quick. So here we kind of have the frame of our door. If we want our door to look open or have something to it, well, if I erase the bottom, it looks open, but I'd see the interior of the space then. So what I can do is, lining up my ruler with this bottom corner and my far vanishing point, I can actually go in, and it has created the interior wall, so it looks kind of like a garage door you can drive into. If I come over to the other side of this building, I can make a window. Window's like a door, except it has a bottom. I can do a vertical line here, maybe do another vertical line over here. Starting with this line that's closer to the center, I extend back for the top and the bottom. See that? Hey, it's like I made a window. But let's also think windows are somewhat recessed. We might see some inner part like this door here. So if I go from this bottom corner here and I make a tiny little line, notice how I'm lined up with the vanishing point over here, tiny little line out, it kind of gives us the ability to make our window look recessed or a little sunken in. I can do a vertical line right here, parallel to this line, and then from this corner, I actually line up with my opposite vanishing point over here, and I draw in this line. And now, if I erase a little bit there, my window appears as if it is recessed in the space. And you might have to clean up some things like I'm doing right now. You can even put a little glass in your window. Now, what's interesting about this is these windows and doors are below my horizon line. So I see this bottom edge and whatnot. If I go above the horizon line, it changes things. So if I were to make a cube up here real quick, and I'm going to do this without extending my lines all the way to my vanishing points because I can be faster and avoid erasing. If I make a cube that's above the horizon line and I want to put a window in it, it changes what we see. Because if I were to put this window on the opposite side and above the horizon line, here's my vertical line, lining up my vanishing point for the top and bottom of the window. Now before, we made the line coming out of this bottom right corner here. That doesn't work though, because our angle has changed, our view has changed. What's actually gonna happen is our line is gonna come out of this corner up above and extend over to this side. See, if our window's on the left side, our inner line goes to the right side. If it's on the right side, our inner line goes to the left side. I can then put in a vertical line and make the recessed portion of that window up above, erasing any excess line that I don't need. Obviously, if we made a door up here, and I had my line here and my line here going this way, there'd be no bottom to my door, so the door wouldn't really make sense unless there was a structure underneath it. Another thing that happens with windows and doors is if you are on the horizon line. So let's say I have a structure over here that is transversing the horizon line like that, and I go like this, and I put my sides on it, rotating my paper. I'm not going to draw that line all the way through because I know I'm going to drop a vertical line right here and another one right over here. There's my box. It's behind that other structure. What happens here is interesting because on the horizon line, at our eye level, we don't see the top or bottom, we actually see both, which is interesting because right here, this box, we see the top. This box, we see the bottom. We see the top edge of this window, the bottom edge of this window. On the horizon line, we can't see the top or bottom of the box, but we see the top and bottom edge of a window or a door. That can be shown pretty much like this. If I make a window right here on the side of this box, what happens is because I'm on the horizon line, this point here, I recede from both corners, rotating my paper. So here, I have a little line out. Here, I have a little line out. Those lines are very subtle because we're right on the horizon line, but if I put in my vertical there, there's the edge, just like this edge or this edge. If I line up over here, I create the top and bottom edge of my window as it exists there. So what you have is you see both. This only occurs on the horizon line where you're going to see both the bottom and top edge of the recessed window. Below you see the bottom in one side, above you see the top in one side. Left side, you see the recessed part on the left. Right side, you see it on the right. A door on the horizon line is affected too because what happens is we can see the inside of the whole structure. So right there, if I erase my bottom, and I do the same thing I did down here by lining up with this vanishing point, I not only have to line up the bottom corner, but I also have to line up this top corner to show the whole interior wall. Basically, we can see the ceiling inside the building. And that there is how you create windows and doors and openings on your objects. For your assignment, you'll have to create 2 windows and 2 doors. You can get creative with this though, because you could think, hey, maybe this building has a window on the bottom. Maybe this object does. And what you can do, instead of thinking vertically, go like this, from that vanishing point, this way from this vanishing point, and it's like we've created a window on the bottom of our object. You can even then make it recessed by making a vertical line there and extending these out further. See, this is where we can get really creative with what we're making. So now it's almost like this whole thing's been hollowed out. In fact, if I put a window on this side too, now this structure no longer looks like a solid block with windows, but it's going to end up being this whole other constructed thing that looks like a hollow form. And we can have fun playing with those ideas. You could even have so much fun as to go in the back here and extend it up and create more of the interior. But that's up to you as you continue to learn and experiment with 2-point perspective.